trick or treat?
I'd say we got a win, so it was definitely a treat. It was a good environment. I played there my redshirt freshman year, and I knew it was going to be a tough environment, but they really showed out. It was a pretty good environment. But, we came out with a win, so it was definitely a treat.
You guys seem to have your way with that defensive line. From what I could tell watching it, pass protection was great. You're able to open up holes to get Wayne over 170 yards. How do you guys feel about that as an offensive line?
It's funny because we actually came out of the game not that satisfied. We didn't feel as we played as well as we could have. Wayne made some great plays, made us look good a few times. But a win's a win. It's never as bad as you think, and it's never as good as you think. So we went back and watched it, and it actually wasn't obviously that bad. But we had a few miscues on some pass protections, and but we so like I said, we didn't think, we weren't as satisfied, even though we had the stats and everything for it, and obviously we won the game, so we were pretty happy. But and me and Eric were talking afterwards, and we were like, man, this is gonna be a bad Monday for film. But then I actually came in, and right as soon as we got back, I went up in the offensive line room and watched the film, because that's like how I guess distraught I was, because I thought I didn't play my best game, and then I ended up going and watching. I could sleep good that night knowing that I didn't play too bad.
What about it in your mind felt so bad? What were some of the issues?
I don't know. It's just sometimes you just feel off, and that's kind of how we felt. And that's just me personally. I feel like we were just kind of off. But we obviously we produced and we were fine. But it's just sometimes you just don't feel. I don't know. It's weird to explain. And as I went back, like the whole first half, I know that they did a lot of movement and stuff, and I think I tried to slow play a little too much, and wasn't really moving my feet like I should have been, and so I guess maybe that may have been it. Just subconsciously trying to pick up their different movements and everything. But like I said, once you go back and watch the film, we're pretty happy with it. So is Coach Caldwell.
You and virtually this entire team are looking for your first win against Florida State. Does that give you added motivation?
Very much so. Florida State is definitely a rivalry game here, for both teams, and it's we want to go in the ACC championship, and obviously they do too. So, but definitely not ever winning against them is, it's almost as bad as some guys that didn't get to beat South Carolina, because it's not so much as an in-state rivalry like us in South Carolina, but it's an ACC rivalry, and it's a lot of the times, not every year, but a lot of the times it's, whoever wins this game goes on to the ACC championship. So, it's definitely adds some extra incentive.
Is this by far, along with South Carolina, the biggest game that you guys circle on the calendar at the start of each year?
Well, we always try to take it obviously game to game, and you can't look anyone over. Look at these teams that started out slow in the year. They may have looked some teams over, but it's definitely a team that whenever you get to it, you really, you're always focused in, but you just have that laser focus, and you're just always trying to, everything's got to be perfect. Even you look at, you're definitely eating right that week. You're doing everything right that week. So, yeah, it's definitely a game that once you get to it, you're just zoom focused that week.
Are you aware, or the rest of the guys aware, that if you win Saturday, ACC Atlantic Shores mathematically that nobody else can win it?
We do know that, and but we're trying. I guess we're trying not to think. We think about it, but we're trying not to.
Right.
And we know that's the situation. But even say we do win this game, we still got to win out. So it's not like we're that's going to be any different, I guess, this week. But it is in the back of our minds.
Is it the same way with the playoff rankings? I'm sorry, Jay. Is it the same way with the playoff rankings as well? Do you guys think about it, but you don't want to think about it?
Nah, that's a little different. That's kind of out of our control, I guess. With the whole ACC championship deal, we win the games, we're going to be, in the ACC championship. So, but that's just kind of out of our control, and something that we try not to worry about too much, and know that if we do what we're supposed to, we feel like we could be there.
So what happens Tuesday night? Do you make sure you're in front of the television watching them unveil it, or do you just kind of wait and see what happens?
I'll probably just be waiting to see what happens. Like I said, I'm gonna try not to focus on that too much, and just focus on a really good opponent that we have this week, and and just see what happens after that.
Do you think it helps everybody that it's not going to be game day? It's not a night game. It's just a 3:30 start. That kind of helps everything.
A little bit. I mean, it takes some of the distraction out of it, but I mean, personally, 3:30 is my favorite kickoff time. So you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to wake up super early in the morning. You get to sleep in a little bit, and then you're not having to wait all day till the game. So personally, 3:30 is my favorite playing time. So I mean, that kind of made us all happy, to be honest. But I mean, it does take some of the distraction out of having game day and having all these people come in but I mean, we always just try and stay pretty focused, and that's one thing that our leadership's done really well this year, is just keeping everyone focused. We got a bunch of young guys on the team, trying to keep all them focused, and so I think we do a pretty good job of that.
A lot of the metrics, though, say maybe the number one team in the nation when the ratings come out tomorrow night. Won't that be, if nothing else, cool?
Oh yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that's not gonna be pretty cool, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything, until after November. So, well, I mean, until really the first week of December is whenever it really matters. So, like I said, just try not to think about that too much and just go do what we got to do. I mean, Clemson, we've been in the spotlight for the past few years now, and so I think we've gotten used to it and adapted to it. But just us just trying to go out, do what we do, play our game, and just hope for the best result.
I'm going to ask you another question that I've been asked of you before, but we're 8 games into the season and it's manifest differently. Deshaun's cool, under fire, in a game where there's a lot of anxiety. How does that translate for you guys on the offensive line, and for you personally as a leader on the offensive line?
Translates well. I mean, he's our quarterback. He is our leader. He is our offensive leader. And whenever that we kind of run off of him, and that's also our our responsibility as an offensive line. To kind of hold him up. Mentally too, not only physically, but mentally is to always have his back and just let him know and keep him confident. That we're gonna keep him upright. And so whenever he's confident, we're confident. And so that kind of helps with him, just like you said, being such a just cool, calm, collected guy, that it just helps everyone run so much more smooth, and helps everything go so much better.
Can you recall a moment in the last several weeks when he's not been like that? Has there ever been a chink in that armor?
Not really. I mean, obviously he'll get frustrated sometimes, and but we all come over. I know me and Eric come over, and every time I make him look me in the eyes. If I can ever tell, because you can tell whenever he gets frustrated, I make him look me in the eyes. I say, hey man, I love you. Tell me you love me. And so and so I always make him do that, and it's just something is because obviously we want to win a football game, but I couldn't care less. If we win, if he's I worry more about him and not letting things get too into his head, which might happen sometimes because he's got a lot of pressure on him. I mean, he's in the national spotlight all the time, but he handles it very, very, very well. But he handles it so well because he prepares so well, and he organizes his life in the way that he can hold it very well.
As a veteran guy, do you just kind of marvel at the fact when you look at guys like Hyatt and Kane and McLeod, that just their talent level, their maturity level, that just boom, right out of high school, here they are doing great things?
Definitely. I mean, I know. I just think back to me as a freshman, and man, I mean, I can't imagine going against a Mike Rose as a freshman like Mitch did, and handle it so well. It just kind of blows my mind, but that's how it's come, and that's how good a recruiting Coach Sweeney's doing, and the rest of our staff, and and that's guys really buying into the program, and getting in the weight room. Whenever Mitch came early, and he balled in mentally and physically, and so that's just a true testament to if you come in, you buy in here, there's no ending to what your possibilities can be.
Did you know shortly after the game or even during the game about the dust up with the assistant coach Sean had?
I had no idea about it until we got back here into Greenville. I didn't hear anything about it. Until then. So, and he never said anything about it. So
Probably wouldn't.
no, he wouldn't have. And that's another thing with him. You know, after you see what happened and it, you know, how he just, you know, kind of went on with his business, and that kind of relates to how he is with everything else. You know, something happens and he goes on with his business, you know, and worries about what he can control.
He's going to frustrate a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Jenny, what's been the key to your play though here? Ever since Ryan has gone down, you just stepped in and played really well. What do you think's going to
I don't know. Just definitely, for one thing, preparation. You know, I've always prepared really well, but now looking more into the, I guess, just deeper into the aspects of our offense and what they want to do defensively, and really just going out and just, I guess, not playing scared. Because before, you know, it's not like I'm out there, I'm like, oh man, like, I hope I don't get whipped. It's more of, I don't want to mess up, you know. And so whenever you come in and you play to not mess up, you play slow. But whenever you go in and just say, hey, mess up, happens, whatever, you play fast. And that's, you know, that's what's helped me so much is I'm able to play fast now, because you go out and obviously you care if, you know, something goes wrong, but and you want to fix it, but you kind of have to have an attitude of, you know, windshield mentality, as Coach Sweeney says. And, you know, it's next play, it's behind you, just keep going. And I think that's really, really, really helped me. And, you know, and now that I feel I'm mentally more, I don't know, I want to say stable, but, you know what I'm saying, is I can handle things better and I can process things better. And so I really think that's one thing that's helped me so much.
How much has Ryan been a help?
Oh, he's helped me so. I mean, I'm coming off the sidelines and he's first one up there telling me, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, and that's helped me. I can't tell you how much, and that's how really a lot of our guys. I mean, even our redshirt guys will be back there, and you know, after come off the sidelines, we all meet. Coach Caldwell talks to us, and Coach Sweeney will come over there and talk to us. We'll get things fixed, but then, you know, we've also got them on the sidelines because, you know, Coach Caldwell can't see everything, and so we always have our guys and our younger guys looking at their position so we can come off and say, okay, I think this happened. Did you see that? And you know, they do. Coach Caldwell with the offensive line does a really good job at really explaining things and how it should happen, so our younger guys know, and so that really helps us a lot.
You get a chance to see the Duke game this weekend in Indy?
We landed in Greenville right at the ending of that game, and so yeah, I got to see the end of it, and that's pretty unfortunate for Duke, you know, and I know I've always held Duke really high, and Coach Cutcliffe, you know, he's such a great coach, and actually Scotty Montgomery, their offensive coordinator, played for my grandfather in high school, and so you know, I always watch them every chance I get, and so does he. And I mean, that was, you know, it's just really unfortunate, and I mean, it's a game of football, you know, it's up and downs, just kind of like life, you know, sometimes it doesn't go your way.